Allow inspectors back in his country to make sure that he's conforming to the agreement he made after he was soundly trounced in the Gulf War. And so we're watching him very carefully.
It was clear that the president's news conference was intended to address an international audience as well as a domestic one. One reporter asked what sacrifices Americans would have to make.
I think the American people are sacrificing now. I think they're waiting in airport lines longer than they've ever had before. I think that there's a certain sacrifice when you lose a piece of your soul. I'm amazed that there's such misunderstanding of what our country is about that people would hate us. I am like most Americans. I just can't believe it, because I know how good we are, and we got to do a better job of making our case.
The president closed by offering one way to make the case.
We're asking every child in America to earn or give $1 that will be used to provide food and medical help for the children of Afghanistan. You can send your $1 in an envelope marked America's Fund for Afghan Children right here to the White House, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. This is an opportunity to help others while teaching our own children a valuable lesson about service and character. I hope school classes or Boys and Girl Scout troops, other youth organizations will participate in any way to raise the money to send to the children. Wash a car, do a yard for a neighbor, and I hope the adults will help them as well. Ultimately, one of the best weapons, one of the truest weapons that we have against terrorism is to show the world the true strength of character and kindness of the American people.
Michelle, not only an extraordinary appeal, but as you pointed out to me earlier this evening, an extraordinary setting. Tell us why.
Well, Ted, you may remember that early in his presidency, Mr. Bush took some grief about being inaccessible to the media, supposedly. Well, around March, his spokesman, Ari Fleischer, said that Mr. Bush would be accessible, but that he was not a particular fan of these formal East Room press conferences. He preferred more informal gatherings with the press, that he didn't see a need to be in prime time, that he would talk to the press whenever he felt he had something to say. Well, this was quite a departure, that the setting was quite formal, the East Room, prime time, in fact, the first prime time news conference by any president since 1995. And I think it's fair to say that the president felt that the full ceremonial trappings of his office would be helpful in getting this particular message across tonight.
Just one more sign of the changing times. Thank you, Michelle. In a moment, a conversation I had earlier today with Attorney General John Ashcroft about that FBI warning.